Hi, folks. Welcome to the introduction to Maths for Science 2. So, welcome back. I hope you had a nice break. This semester, things will run very similarly to as how they did last semester. So, we'll just take a look. So, this semester, there's 3 hours of lectures a week. Now, again, I know in COVID and stuff, it's not the same as it would be normally. Normally, we'd be kind of traveling at one. And last semester, we had 2 hours of lectures a week and 2 hours of tutorial. This year, it's 3 hours of lectures and one tutorial. So the kind of rate of work will be upped a bit, yeah, considerably, I suppose, 50%. So there's 3 hours of lectures a week. Now, that's formally on the timetable. I'm going to try and compress the 3 hours into two if possible. Sometimes it's going to be three recorded lectures. One live tutorial each week. So that's where you can ask questions, just get a feel for some of the more difficult stuff, things like that. And again, it's 100% remote delivery due to the government restrictions because of COVID. Everything is on Moodle. So this semester there's 10 weekly CA tests, there's 12 quizzes, and everything else you're familiar with then. So in this module, what we'll really be looking at is the 7 principal functions that occur in science. All of them are multidisciplinary. In other words, each function applies to environmental, life, health sciences. So they're all applicable to whichever discipline you're studying. So we'll look at each function in terms of its typical equation, its full equation, its graph, and then where do these type of functions occur regularly in science, and then we'll also be taking a look at some mathematical techniques and methods in order to solve problems related to various kind of disciplines. Later in the module, once we've knocked through the 7 functions, we start to analyze. We use different mathematical techniques to kind of bring a new layer of understanding, which isn't available from just the raw equations, the raw functions. So first, the next lecture, that'll be the first official lecture that'll be open this week as well. Will be on functions. Then we're going to take a look at, so this is just a general introduction to functions. How do you recognize them? How are they different from equations? Then we look at linear functions, quadratic functions, cubic, rational, trigonometric, logarithmic, and exponential. So that's our 7 prime functions. Then we'll start to analyze functions using simultaneous equations, which some of you will be familiar with, graphing techniques, and calculus. Generally one topic a week. So that's what I'll be aiming for. But some topics are a little bit longer, as we'll see. Some topics are a little bit shorter, so there's going to be a little bit of crossover from week to some weeks. 2 to 4 pre-recorded lectures per topic. Again, I try and keep the lectures reasonably short, but we've a good bit of material to get through. And 1 live tutorial per week. So just I've kind of broken it down into what I estimate the number of kind of hours I would like to give each topic. Now, when these are compressed down into lectures, it won't be as long, but just to give you an idea of how many lectures to expect in each topic per week. So 9 lectures we'll hopefully spend on this. And again, guys, this is only I'm just trying to lay out a bit of a structure for my own planning as well. So most weeks a new topic will open on Moodle. Some weeks we'll, like exponential functions and logarithmic functions, we'll spend 2 weeks at least on each of those. There'll be a weekly test. So last semester we had 2 tests per week. This semester we'll only have one. There's still the Moodle quizzes. They need to be done within the deadlines. I'll be enforcing the deadlines a bit stricter this semester. There's videos, resources, and then we also have our 1 hour tutorial each week. At the end of the module, then there'll be an assessment based on the quizzes and also some questions from the CA test. So very similar to our end of module assessment from last semester. Just breakdown of the assessment. Getting 100% in all the quizzes is worth 20%. Continual CA exams based on the lectures is worth 50%. And the end of module assessment is worth 30%. So it's the same breakdown as for Maths 1. So the 20% is a pro rata mark. So I got a good few emails about this last year, guys. So if you get 100% in half the marks, or in half the quizzes, say there's 12 quizzes and you get 100% in 6 of them, you're going to get half of this mark. So each quiz, getting 100% in each quiz is worth about 1.67%, just if you want to kind of put numbers on things. The lecture CA tests at the end of every week, there'll be a short online test. Test will be about 20 minutes long and it'll only be open for 30 minutes. So you need to make sure you've watched the lectures and that you make yourself available for the test. So there'll be 10 of these, each worth 5%. And then, as I said, the end of module assessment be about 25 to 30 questions randomly selected from the Moodle quizzes and the CA tests from up here. So that, guys, kind of just gives us a wee breakdown. I don't want to spend ages kind of, talking about the nuts and bolts. I think most of you have a fairly good feel for how things run. It's really a case of we're now dealing with different topics, but in the same delivery and assessment framework. So I'll finish up there. Thanks again for listening.